Don't you feel like breaking free? Open your eyes, embrace what you see now. Don't you feel like cutting loose? Yeah, cutting loose, cutting loose. I'm alive, I do or die. My mind stretched out on the canopy. My dreams getting bigger than you and me.
One of the main reasons that we wanted to take you guys along with us today is because not only for the sunrise, but to always show that every day is a new day, regardless if yesterday was bad or good. And
But I mean, yesterday was a good day.
it was an amazing day yesterday. We had a lot of fun.
I think it's really important to remember that, you know, no matter what life throws at you, that you can pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep going.
Yeah.
And the important thing is to not quit,
Yeah.
because you can go through all kinds of failures, but I don't think that's a true failure, because you learn something and you try again.
And I agree 100%.
It's not so much a failure as it's just a mistake.
Yeah.
And Thomas Edison didn't fail 99 times. He found 99 times how not to make a light bulb.
You know, I'm gonna admit something. As much as I love running, there has been days where I do not want to get out of bed.
I don't even think that's an admittance. I think that's
Everyone. Everybody, yeah. Because it was 3 weeks ago, I did a 14-mile run. Did not want to get out of bed for it. And usually I get excited for the long distance runs. But I'll admit, I just was not feeling it, and I don't think I even truly enjoyed it as much as I usually do. And that was kind of a bummer for me.
I had a run last week. I mean, I feel like for me, every couple of weeks I'll have a day where I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
But I had a run last week that I got midway through it, and like to the midway point, and I literally stopped in the middle of my run, stopped my run keeper for an entire song. So for like 3.5 minutes, because I was trying to talk myself into starting again.
Yeah.
And I had to do the brain talk of like, okay, Lexi, you're halfway through. There's no cutting this short.
Yeah.
You at least have to get back home, because taking an Uber is not an option for me.
Yeah.
One of my mantras is, you're a marathoner. Marathoners don't skip training runs. And although I have not done a marathon yet, I'm in training for one. So I am forcing myself to think like a marathoner so that I will become one. And that's one of the powers of your brain, is like the way that you better yourself in the way that you think about yourself is by constantly telling yourself things. And I don't know, I feel like it's really helpful when you get in that mindset of like, oh, I just don't want to do this anymore. That you think about what your goals are. And I mean, let's be honest, the hardest part of training for a marathon is the actual training, not the marathon.
Yeah. Story time for me. So my first marathon, I didn't have enough time to train for it because I signed up for it a little bit later, and I only got up to about 16 miles before I did the marathon. And at that point I was like, you know what, I'm going strong, I feel like I could do it. I stayed pretty positive. I knew going in, most people were very supportive, like they were super excited for me. That was the best decision I could have ever done. Challenging myself and putting in the effort that I could fit in that span of time that I was able to do. So the whole thing about not quitting, not once during the race did I think, oh, I'm gonna quit, I can't do this. Because around mile 18, which is what people told me for your first marathon, is like a big mile marker for you in terms of how you're gonna feel. And my muscles in my thighs were just so tight. I had to stop numerous times just to stretch it out. And by the time I got to mile, I think 20 to 23 was probably one of the biggest moments during that race for me, because I had an injury that occurred during the race, and I had no sign that my knee was going to be any problems whatsoever at all during any of my training that I had done for it. I think when I got to that last mile marker though, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm thinking about crying just thinking about it. That was probably one of the most deserved medals I could have ever gotten, because walking hurt more than running, because if I stopped and I walked, it hurt to start back up again with my knee. But when I kept running, it subsided, if that's the best word to use.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I was so close to the finish line, and knowing that I had it in me physically and mentally that I could still do it, because I don't quit. I'm not a quitter, never really have been, and I just don't see that as an option. Now I will say, it wasn't so bad that I needed to stop and drop out.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any specific brain talk that you gave yourself during that time that could, that pushed you through?
My friend Cindy saw me at Wide World of Sports, which is when I started having the muscle tightness in my thighs that I was luckily stretched out as I got to the very start of the Wide World of Sports part of it. And as I was getting out of the complex, she was there cheering me on with a sign, and that was one of the best things, is like, when you have somebody cheering for you.
Ooh! Almost died.
Hold on. Break, one moment.
This is what we're going over, guys. This is what's happening right now.
Very exciting and very cool. I think when you have like somebody cheering you on, you don't want to disappoint them, but most importantly, you don't want to disappoint yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's another plug. Cheer on people when you see them running.
yeah,
Because sometimes, you never know when somebody might need it.
and that's another thing, is seeing all the people during any kind of race cheering you on, regardless if they know you or not, is one of the most motivational points, just to get your next foot forward.
The impact of strangers cheering for you.
Yeah. But regardless though, it is probably one of the most best experiences that I've ever had. And I can't thank my decision enough every day for that. And I may have not run for 2 to 3 weeks after that. Actually, it was about 3 weeks at least. But that was also because I wanted to give myself a break. But I got back into it, and when I did my second marathon, I got to about 18 miles before I went and ran it, and I felt like I could have really ran a good bit of it. Like, I ran most of it, which was one of the more successful feelings, and I felt very strong when I ran it. And I PR'd for my second marathon. So, yeah, don't give up when things get tough. I mean, if you are truly physically hurting, if you have to drop out, do not feel bad.
Exactly. Listen to your body, more importantly.
Yes.
Like, don't try to run through injury and injure yourself more.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, I laid it off when I was starting to feel bad. I didn't go as hard as I was going. I calmed myself down, did this pace that worked best for me to still kind of keep through it. I think I don't want to say I don't think I would have dropped out because I knew physically I was still okay.
Mhm.
But it was something that I've never experienced before.
Yeah.
That's why I think I felt that way.
You really have to be in tune with your body.
Yeah. And there's times where I was, remember that one time in, what was it? Was it November? I think it was last November. I think that was my 16-mile run that day. And I got to about a mile
Oh, is
and a
that when
half
you got
in.
sick?
Yeah, it was a mile and a half in. I was supposed to do a 16-mile run. And I just didn't feel good, and I thought I was gonna get sick, and so I decided to just stop, go back home, and that was the best decision. Don't force yourself, especially when you're training. If at some point during your run you don't feel good, go back. It's okay. Try it again next time.
Mhm.
I think I tried it again, 2 days later?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it.
Was that also the day that was super duper cold?
Yeah, I don't know. Dude, that was so cold that I couldn't feel my arms up to about
It was like
here.
21 degrees, which is not cold for some of you because you live up north.
Yeah,
But
I'm from
it was
Ohio, so I've ran in it before, but whew, that was something. But you from Mississippi though?
Yeah. I don't do that cold weather.
No, I made it about 8 miles in, and then I finished the rest on the treadmill because it was so cold.
I just feel like no matter what, you know, the fact that you're just getting out and going is amazing.
Yeah.
And if you need some encouragement, check out our Instagram because we're going to be putting quotes that are encouraging to us
Yes.
on our Instagram.
And we're there to cheer you on too. For every
We're
race.
cheering you on right now.
Yes. You're doing it.
You.
Yes.
You're doing it.
And we can't wait to share not only our journey, but see your journey as well.
Yeah, so feel free to comment
Subscribe.
and like our videos.
All right, you guys, till next time. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't you feel like breaking free? Open your eyes, embrace what you see.